I'd like to introduce you and tell you about what all he has done. He is currently the Vice President of Software Development in the Service Networking Group in Cisco. He has completed 20 years with Cisco and leads a team of 1,000 engineers in India and Italy. He is also responsible for the development of Alcom and optical platform. As I just told you that he's completed his BTech from IIT Varanasi and we're really proud of him of being our alumni. He's also completed his Masters from University of Toronto in Networking and Communication, and he holds 2 patents which relate to the automation of networking provision and architecture in optical network.
Now on the core team,
I invite Mr. Subhash.
so you 3 people from here and 2 from our side. So come on there. Now it has started.
The goodness.
Let me do this.
No. We want students to listen very carefully what you are going to utter. This is the mantra of their success. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, fine.
Hello. All right. Okay. What is switch between English and Hindi? How many people don't understand Hindi here? Okay, then I won't switch between English and Hindi. So that's good because I come from Bangalore and I usually cognizant of the fact that many people would not be comfortable. You know what? When I've been working with BHU a lot more in the last year or 2, and I think this is the 2nd or 3rd visit in the last 18 months that I've had here. I came down with Vish here. I don't know, was anybody there? Anybody here was there but me and Vish came and talked? 2, good. I can repeat the talk. So, when I was coming down, I was thinking, what should I cover, right? Because most of the information right now is available to you guys on YouTube, on the web and everything.
I don't know how to read.
And I thought of a couple of topics. So I'm going to cover a bit about what I think about hackathon and what I think why coding is important right now and why these competitions are important. And then I'm going to go a little bit into my journey. Because a lot of you are thinking about, building your careers, kya karna hai, what's next, and what should I do. So I'll try to relate to a few things on what worked for me, and hopefully it helps you. Then it should be interactive. Look, you can hear enough talks from people way more successful than I am on YouTube, right? What should be important here is some level of interaction. The reason I come down here and I've come down here the 2nd time is because I want to give back to my college, right? There was a lot of exposure that we didn't have, and I'm just talking to Sapta and Rahul, in colleges in Bangalore, all companies are there all the time. I don't know how many talks you get here from a lot of senior members. So do you get many talks? You get many people coming down from the corporate world here? Yes? You get like once a month or something? You're getting that nowadays? But it's still, when I was talking to people, coming to Banaras, I don't know, I didn't see the same level of interest in everybody. So I thought it would be good to do some level of interactive Q&A later on for the topics that you're going to have, right? About coding and hackathon and why I think this is important. What's happened in the last 10, 20 years is every company has become a technology company. You see, when I graduated, when you worked in electronics, when you worked in computer science, you would join a technology company. You will join Microsoft, you'll join Cisco, you'll join one of these companies. Now every company is a technology company. A hotel company is a technology company. An airline company is a technology company. Cars, Uber, taxi service, everything is a technology company. So what we really need is everybody to know how to code. The way it used to be about mathematics, the way it used to be around, do you guys still have all those workshops in the first year, or you don't? You have the fitting workshop and the, you got professors here, I shouldn't say something, but you're not really going to use too much of it in the future, I can tell you that. But but I think computer science, the reason why you had those workshops was typically every engineer would have to deal with a lathe machine at some time. Every engineer would have to deal with those activities sometimes because most of the stuff was done physically. Now coding is what the workshop should be, right? A chemical engineer, a mechanical engineer, you need to know how to code to solve problems. Our engineer's job is to solve problems, right? Simplify problems, solve problems. And that's the basic tool you have. So how many guys here are from non-computer science backgrounds? Good. We need more of you guys. More of you guys have to start learning how to code to be able to bring about a difference in the way we work, in what we're trying to build in the next generation, right? To most of the companies, are most of the companies now open to non-computer science people? Do you see a lot of them? Right? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, good. So this is the feedback that when I come last year we had received. Last year when I came back, the feedback that we got was Cisco is fixed on computer science and electronics. We should be more open. Then sometime we'll change that now, right? So this time you're open to all branches, and we're going to have a common test, and we're going to make sure we test for aptitude there, right? So that's thanks for the feedback at that time, and we brought about those changes. So these kinds of events, the hackathons, the challenges that we give are the mental exercise you need to be successful in the future. I'll give you an example. We used to hire people in Cisco typically by looking at their resume, going over what they've done in the resume, and asking questions around that. We have changed that completely, even for lateral hires, like senior people that we hire. And a lot of that is completely based on your coding capability. So now we have something called blind hiring, where we test people on their coding ability. People who interview them don't even look at the resume. And the hiring process, the last process is looking at the resume and what's going on. So please take these seriously. This is the only skill. Well, this is one of the many skills, but this is going to be a core skill that's going to make you successful in the future. Solving problem using software, right? Algorithms to solve crazy problems. I mean, some of the problems that we're going to give in the Ideathon, and we're also starting, and I'll get into that later, we're also starting some sort of an industry exchange with Cisco, where we're going to give you some industry problems to solve. Again, they're open-ended problems in networking that we want you guys to attempt to solve and see how you can do it. A lot of these problems are not even algorithmic, right? They cannot be solved through algorithms. They have to be heuristically solved. So that's a challenge that we're going to give to you and see how it goes here, right? So I'm happy to see that tendency. When I was coming down here, I said, we'll reach there, and we'll probably be the first people out there. I think the last time I came there, I was there, 10 minutes before anybody showed up. But this time I'm seeing a difference. And frankly, I can tell you, when I was in college, we wouldn't have showed up this time. Either they gave you the wrong time, or did you tell them like it was half an hour earlier or something? Just 15 minutes. Yeah, good to see that you guys are interested in coding. So now let me go through my journey. Okay, he did cover a bit of my journey. of what I got involved in and how I moved from that I want to cover is first of all, what should you go in, right? What area should you pick? What kind of job should you try to do? What should be your next step, right? How did I go about it and what worked and what didn't work, right? Couple of other things that helped me throughout is having the passion and energy to do whatever you're doing, right? Have the energy to put your full effort in something, and I'll cover a little bit of how that works and how that's been useful. And the final thing I think that works for everyone is continue learning. I'll give you an example. When I graduated, that was the second batch I think of computer science. Is it? Computer science was 87, 88. When was it set up? 83. Oh yeah. So first batch had passed out a couple of years back. 87. So 89 is when I started. And we had when we started off, I think we didn't really know what, and I took electronics. I didn't understand what I'm going to do about computer science, or what the jobs are going to be. So we just continued focusing on learning, trying to figure out what's going on. But I was just trying to, on the way here, I was trying to remember my first interview, right? And when we were going, when the campus interviews happened, and I couldn't even remember completely what happened there. So that's a level of blankness I had in choosing what to do. I had no idea what to do. I don't know how many guys think you're clear about what you want to do. You raise your hand. Just because I said it doesn't mean you don't need to. Yes, somebody can be confident. There are smarter people around. Nobody is clear about what kind of job you want to pick up. Is it company based? Can one of you speak up what you want to do? Or I'll stop picking up on you guys. I'm from this college. I've got the power to drag my juniors, even if they're 25 years my junior. What do you want to do? Yes. I can drag anyone, man. Even with yourself sitting here. What are you thinking of? That's okay, you plan. Something that gives you any job will do. Yes? Name? It's not a tough question for you, yeah? Okay, anybody else? Don't feel nervous, right? You haven't thought about it, right? You? Have you thought about it? Yeah? Maybe what? Some computer science kind of job. Okay. That's okay, sit down. And don't look. That's the reason why I wanted to call a mic. I'm really your senior. I'm not talking here like vice president or something of sort. My goal is to give back. My goal is to help you as much as I can. So when it's not clear what to do, it's not bad to follow the hype. Right? Because where everybody else is going is usually the okay place. It's better than you trying to be somebody different without knowing anything. Right? So I did electronics. Right? I did electronics engineering. Software was big there. I got two jobs at that time. One was in C. Anybody remember what C. is? Has anybody heard of C. Oh, okay. That used to be, was supposed to be India's Huawei. It was supposed to be India's telecom company. So I had a choice between a networking company, hardcore, and a software company, Wipro. And everybody was doing software. Because software seems to be the thing that people wanted to get into. And I ended up picking up software. Now when you follow the crowd, right? You follow the crowd and you go in there because you have no clue what's going on. Start learning through that process. Because then you keep your eyes and ears open. And then the best thing I would say, and what worked for me, was join a large company if you don't know what you want to do. Because with a large company, you can see what success is. If you look at Microsoft, if you look at Infosys, if you look at Wipro, if you look at Cisco, they have gone through the journey and have achieved success. in building products, in building solutions, they have been able to be number one. It takes some, it's really tough out there. So follow that. You don't know what you're doing. That's okay. You're hearing about data science, AI, ML, software. It's okay. You don't know. Safer bet is with the cloud. I know this is not what people say. They say you should be clear and you should be 100% clear on what you want to be. I can tell you, there are 3 or 4 people that I've interviewed in my life who are completely clear about what they wanted to do. They came in, they said, 3 years from now I want to be this. 5 years from now I want your job. Most of them are still where they are. Right? I had no clue. I had clue what's next. Usually what's worked is what's next and what's after that. It's pretty hazy beyond that because things change. And that's okay. I think that's okay. It's okay to follow the herd sometimes there. But keep your eyes and ears open, right? So when I went into Wipro, I started learning about stuff and they told me about this cool thing called the internet. That's how old I am. So there was this browser that could take you into things. And I had no idea what that meant. You could go to a museum and see what's going in there and I'm like, what the heck are these guys talking about, right? So I was in Wipro Systems, we didn't have many computers. We used to have floppy disks. Who's seen a floppy disk? You guys are old or you had or you've seen old movies. Where did you see a floppy disk? Parents, yeah. You know what, I'm probably older than some of your parents. But, yeah, so we used to have those big floppy disks that you put in there, you boot the computer, then you take out the floppy disk and then you get to store stuff. But yeah, I went out there and looked at, what was Mosaic at that time, and that was a very interesting concept. You could connect to this internet thingy and you had, places that you could visit. And that sparked the interest in networking. That seemed like an interesting area for me. So remember, I left the C-dot job. I didn't join it because I followed the herd. Right? I was fine. I learned. I saw so much because it was a large company. It was not in my division. But I saw how things were being built. I saw what the internet is. I don't think anybody knew what the internet was that time. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have PCs in our houses unless you were absolutely rich. And we have landline that worked twice a year. Right? So it was not, it was a very different time. And then I started reading about it and learning about it. And I realized this is an area in networking that I find interesting. And then I decided to do my master's. And then I applied and I got into University of Toronto. And, that was a different story. I didn't want to go to the US for certain reasons. My dad said to me at that time, I wanted to do, but I liked it. It was a good experience. So I went in and did my master's in computer and in networking. Now you see that Mosaic thing was an exposure that I got because it was a large company. If I joined a small startup, when I'm not clear, it wouldn't have worked. Because they would have said, okay, solve this, we've got only this much money, work day and night, build this. I have no clue, I would have just done that, right? But I opened up and actually went back towards C-dot. Was really to look at it in one way, right? Because C-dot was a networking company. And I worked in networking, and what was at that time the coolest technology was ATM networks. Has anybody heard of ATM networks? Asynchronous transfer mode. Has anybody heard of IP networks? You heard of networks? Cisco, man. I hope you guys know what networks are. I'm going to be talking a lot about it tomorrow. So I did my master's in something called QoS, Quality of Service in ATM networks. And then again, now I wanted to see what it is. I had a choice to join a small company in Canada that was building test systems. And Nortel, and now it's like 3 years experience or something like that. And Nortel, has anybody heard of Nortel Networks? It's already dead. Anybody heard of Bell Northern Research? Bell Research Labs? Right, so Bell Research Labs were what became Nortel Telecom. They were the large research labs in the US and Canada. Right, so I decided to join that again because I had no clue. I knew I wanted to do networking, I wanted to see more. I ended up joining Bell Northern Research, and that became Nortel. And I started working in technology on ATM networks. And that was a really large company. And now I started getting bored because I knew what I wanted to do. I started building it, and I had to go through so many layers to get an approval because they wanted to build stuff that never goes down. I wanted to hack stuff. And then it started getting really irritating for me. So now comes the point when a large company, a lot of you guys say, startup versus large company. When I didn't know what to do, large company helped. When I know what I wanted to do very clearly, it was sort of a hindrance for me. And I ended up, okay, that's my wife for this one. You guys are not there tomorrow, I'm going to go back home tomorrow. So then I said, okay, this is not good. This is irritating. Secondly, it was minus 40 degrees, which was a different problem. Then I started interviewing around, and that's where I think one thing that worked well, and I think I'll give you feedback. When you actually go through the interviews, you should interview the interviewers too. You should see what kind of a company. I went for my interview for this startup, and I had no idea what a startup is at that time. It was a lot of startups in Canada. Everything was happening in the Bay Area. I went out to the Bay Area, went for an interview. The interview started at 11 a.m. The interview finished at 7 p.m. I got a lunch break and a beer break around, 1 hour before the final thing. And that's pretty much all I got. But it was a really amazing interview. I still remember, going through hours and hours of grilling interviews, solving this problem, that problem. Finally they came and said, okay, I'm going to give you an offer. How much money do you want? I had no clue what to ask. So I just threw a number. They said yes. I said, maybe I said too less. They said, but I want a bonus. I said, okay, yes. I said, okay. Now it's a bit more problem. I said, what else do I ask for? They said, by the way, there's also stock options. I said, I don't know what the heck those are. Okay, give them to me. But what more money are you going to give me? And then I did everything I could. I was a basic guy, relocation, this, car, 1 month, no 2 months of house. I did everything. They said, yes, yes, yes. See, that's how fast the startup worked. That was the fun part then, right? They just took a decision then. In fact, I had an interview after they took a decision. When the CEO met me. I said, why are you interviewing me? That other guy gave me the job. So no, I didn't talk to him, that's fine. And that was the vice president of the CEO, VP. And then I joined the startup. It was an amazing experience after that. Because, I told you I came from this large company where we'd say, okay, is this good design? 20 people in the committee said, yeah, it looks like a good design, let's go to the next level. Will it work? Again, 2 months. Yeah, I think it'll work. Big and nuts till the time it finally got there. And here I went to my boss, I said, okay, he said, this is the system we're building the next generation optical networking system. That were the 2 patents that someone was tampering with my patents some time back. So those were in optical networks, right? So he said, okay, can you design this system? And I said, okay, yeah. This is what you're going to do. You're going to do this, and yeah, because I'm going to go through 3 levels anyway, right? I can come up with anything. So I said, okay, this is the way I would design it. I looks at it, this is a Stanford guy, 20 years experience Stanford guy. Looks like a good design, go ahead, build it. I said, wait a minute, what happened? What happened to the layers of approval? I said, no, let's go. This whiteboard is your design document. Put it in your room, build it. And that's the fun of the startup. But you see, if I had started with that, I wouldn't have been able to do this. I built the base for it, and that I think works. Now it worked for me, I've seen it work for a lot of people. And I think, there, when you're not clear, following the herd did work for me. That startup, then we built customers, we grew. That startup got acquired by Cisco in 1999 for $7 billion. That's B, billion with a B, in 1999. And I did okay. Even though I was, those stock options that, when the guy said, oh, by the way, you're getting these stock options, I said, okay, whatever the heck it is, give it to me. That suddenly made me a multimillionaire, right? I said, what the heck happened? And, all those bonuses that I fought for was pretty much useless. Because it was like, 1/100th of what I got from the acquisition, right? So you see, that was luck, you know. Getting acquired by Cisco for that amount of money, you know, whatever you can say, I was not that smart. It had to do with luck. But you wouldn't have reached there. You know, luck comes, but only if you're ready, you get a chance. So luck comes to 50 people, 5 of them are ready, they can get a chance. Right? Other 4 are screwed again. That's a different problem. But there it helps. Right? So that part of my journey, you know, that did help. And then I got into Cisco. And I said, okay, I'll vest my options 4 years. Done 4 years, run away from, because it looks like another Nortel to me. Large company. You know, it was, but some things about it were different. And we've sponsored it. I'm going to say something nice about Cisco. You know, when we got acquired, it was very interesting, you know. When we got acquired, we didn't know they were going to get acquired, but there was something weird. We called us to a nice hotel. And you know, there was this guy standing, like a bunch of guys came in. They were standing aside. And our CEO was a crazy guy. So his cube used to be next to me. It was pretty interesting. I'll get to that later. But they said, okay, and we are the largest private acquisition ever. In fact, we were the largest private acquisition before WhatsApp got acquired for 18 billion. That was one of the largest private acquisition ever for a private company. My startup that we were in, selling that I just talked to you about. And then the CEO walks in. The Cisco CEO is standing like this on the side, like a multi-billionaire, and came in, welcomed us, and we became a part of Cisco. Now let me talk to you about hype. At that time, you know, you guys talk about AI, you talk about ML, and anything, you know, coolest hype. At that time, big thing. Everything would be sold on the internet. There will be something called, you know, retail on the internet. And there was this new company called Amazon which was trying to do those things. And, you know, optical networks would be needed to connect everything. And that's what we were doing. We were making more than $1 billion. The Serent company that was working. In 2000. Then there was a crash. Does anybody know about the 2000 crash? Does anybody know? Okay, one guy. I know it, my stocks went down. Then there was a crash. From making $1 billion, we are making 1/10 of that. And that's how the hypes change. Right? From being, you know, the company where everybody used to have free chocolates and free beer every day, to they're saying, why should we really keep you guys? Maybe we should fire you. I don't think every day you're working and losing $10. So I went through that, and you know what saved there was, you know, we fought on. Around that time I planned to come to India, and I said I decided to set up something in India. Cost was a big thing. I'm working in a company that is part of the company which everybody hates now. And this was a darling, and now people look at us, you know, poor guy, he's still there. He should have left by now. And I'm trying to figure out what we can do different. And we ended up, I moved to India around 2004 time frame, set up a team in India, and built this team from scratch. Stayed focused. You know, I hired a bunch of young kids like you guys. We turned the business around, right? We made it profitable, we turned it around, and it's still growing. We just bought another company 2 weeks ago called Acacia for about $2.5 billion to help grow that business. So, you know, we were going to kill ourselves, and I came down here and we had to start it from scratch again. Me and my partner in Italy. So I have a team in Italy that does mostly optic stuff. But you keep on learning. After that, I learned routing. You know, I set up a hardware team. I don't think Rahul also knows this, but I set up the mechanical team, first mechanical team in India. Doing thermal, mechanical, kept on learning. Learning is one thing, you know, you don't want to give up, right? A lot of you guys think you're IIT guys, right? And fine, you'll find a nice job, you know. There's this old joke I don't know if you guys heard, right? This guy, really rich guy, buys the Rolls Royce. I'm going to use it in a different context here. Buys a Rolls Royce. and showing off to everybody, driving around, some देखते हैं वाह यार क्या गाड़ी है. Finally 2 साल बाद he takes it out, he's taking his girlfriend out, फिर start ही नहीं हो रही है. What the heck happened? And like he calls Rolls Royce and said क्या है boss? He said, you know ये तो फ्रांस से इंजीनियर बुलाना पड़ेगा, this is a really big deal. आए भाई, open the engine का रेसमेंट इंजन ही नहीं है. सर ये 2 साल से तो चल रही है, what is going on? 2 साल तो रेपुटेशन पे चलती है. ठीक है बस, तो 2 साल तो तुम रेपुटेशन पे चल जाओगे. Unless you have the core engine, आगे नहीं चलने वाले. You will get the job, lot of people will get the job just like this. But the learning has to continue. Right? And I was telling you where I started, and from having a floppy disk to talking about cloud, if you don't keep on learning, it's not going to work. So continuous learning, what you learn in school, you know, when I was passing out, you know, my professor said to me, right, everything that you learn might be completely irrelevant 5 years from now, but what you have learned is how to learn, right? How to go about looking steps, how do you solve problems, how to learn. So that's really, and I still continue reading, I still continue solving problems, still continue coding, because you cannot be away from that, right? The pace of change, and give you an example of what the pace of change is, I think that's something. The pencil was invented in 1560 something, okay? The eraser was invented in, the eraser for the pencil eraser was invented in 1640 around, okay? And after 100 years they figured out कि pencil को मिटा भी सकते हैं. Pencil with an eraser on top took another 120 years. 120 साल लगे to think कि यार इसके ऊपर लगा देंगे तो आराम हो जाएगा. That was the pace of, and I'm not saying, you know, if your passion is to dig holes, or you know, passion is to shoot people, you know, that
should we give it a break?
Take you there. It has networks. So that's what
Yeah, this is a wonderful name.
Okay.
And in fact, not only he coined the name, and Dean R&D, Director, my own department, everyone appreciated it. This is Center of Excellence for Intelligent Networks. So the traditional networks are going to have AI and ML. Then only they will support the next generation of technologies. So that is the idea what Cisco is now putting into you people. They are looking for such expertise.
So we must give problems to you. We are in fact,
है ना? तो ऐसे जब कंटेक्स्ट निकले तब जरूर दिखाएं. अभी स्टॉप
He's probably one of the Cisco problems. You know, they are very interesting problems that we are trying to, that we need algorithms for. Like I said, so you guys have seen that. How many of you have seen that? 2%. Come on. Nobody checks their emails. Better WhatsApp it, or what is it? Instagram it. Then you will follow. Okay, go look at your old-fashioned email now.
All the 5 projects have been circulated. Gmail form, Google form has also been circulated. Many students have already registered. So register yourself into that briefing as well, right? Go through the projects, come prepared after going through what they have proposed, what they are going to talk about. So that will help a lot. So tomorrow at 8:30 we are going to have this briefing.
So I mean, I know 8:30 on a holiday is early, but try to get up. I'm telling you, this kind of exposure to the industry is something that I just talked about when you follow the herd, what I got in Wipro, what I got in Cisco. Those kind of exposures are difficult to get. So please utilize it. Come down for that, and we'll help you more. Now let me go to questions. You know, I tried to make it less gyan, end mein thoda sa ho gaya, but you know, I tried to make it more practical. What is on your minds? Can we make it a little interactive now? Before I start picking people, like I said, I have the right to rap 25 times. I'll start picking you guys up. No questions? Go ahead. What are them? You can work in San Francisco. So I'll cover that in the PPT tomorrow also. But Cisco is a networking company, and we just talk about intelligent networks, right? So, a little bit of Gyan and then I'll come back. Now, if you look at, I talked about software and how software is networking was typically its own domain. AI/ML and other things, data science can actually help change how you take decisions and how you learn, especially around security. It makes a lot of difference, right? So there are different groups which are helping evolve, the networking in a different way. So there's security, there's WebEx, what we call collaboration. There is, the large data centers, connecting the large data centers. There's that. There's service provider. All of your Reliance Jio is Cisco, right? Other than the wireless part, everything is Cisco. Bharti also, a large part is now becoming Cisco. So those networks. So there are many different parts in networking along with collaboration, security. Then there's a services group that services these customers and the IT group. So very different departments. What else? Anything on your mind? It was exciting, it was a new thing. Like I said, right? I saw Mosaic. Have you guys heard of Mosaic? Just read the history of computer science. कहाँ से शुरू हुआ, क्या Mosaic था, कुछ तो पता हो रहा है. You should know all that, right? Mosaic was the first browser. So it just sounded so exciting and earth-shattering, right? It was a very, very weird concept that you can think of a world before internet, right? And just think how you can't even think of what it did to you. So I got that exposure just because I was sitting there. Right? So it just seemed very, very sexy, very intelligent, but very interesting. So it was not a very intelligent decision. Yeah, under the gut. And then we started following it. Anything else, guys? Questions? Look, the whole idea, you could have listened to somebody much more interesting than me on your YouTube, like I said, right? The whole idea is I'm here for you. So if you have things on your mind, any stupid question, go ahead. Why did I decide to do my master's? Because I thought bachelor's was very generic, right? And once I realized that this area is interesting, like I said, for me learning is important. So I went and did then I took up computer networks, and I found a professor who was very strong in this area. ATM networks was a big hype at that time. IT was supposed to be killed. IT was really stupid. ATM was supposed to take over. So I picked up that hype network. But I wanted to know more before I could jump into it. So that's again, it's the learning part. You see, you guys have a lot of access to resources. When I went to Toronto for the first time, I saw a library that is 13 floors. Wow, man, these are books. And you could get any information anywhere. Now you have a phone that has more than that. So a lot of learning you can do on your own, which I couldn't at that time. So I don't know if I would have done the same thing, I would maybe learn it on my own. What else, guys?
What would you prefer for us, for cloud computing or AI/ML?
What or AI/ML?
Either we should follow with cloud computing or AI/ML.
So AI/ML, and I'm going to repeat my joke here now. So, some of you guys have heard me say this before, right? AI/ML is a tool, okay? And I always give an example. A carpenter uses a hammer, okay? A blacksmith, Luhar, uses a hammer. A Sunar uses a hammer. The skill is Sunar, carpenter, Luhar. The skill is not the hammer. So you cannot say I'm a hammer expert. Either you're a carpenter, so figure out which field you're in, where you can use the tool. So cloud computing, when you say if you go to AWS, they're solving a bunch of problems there. Like AI/ML, I don't know what you mean by that. There are many startups Nobody is here actually working with algorithm. If you're working with the real algorithm, that's a more maths and a statistics problem. I don't think that's a computer science problem. But there you can, right? There, but I doubt very few of you, most of you will use the IML algorithms. So then figure out which field. Is it cloud computing? Is it networking? Is it applications? You want to make out of it? Yeah. That's a great question too, right? I mean, if they stop paying me my salary, I want to stop coming to Cisco. Money is important. What benefit do we get? He's going to cover that. See, each one is solving a problem that we are facing. There are challenges that we are facing in the networks which are difficult to solve. You see, give you an example of the kind of challenges we face. Simple thing you'll relate in India, right? We have these geo networks everywhere, right? And the light jati rehti hai, right? UPS bhi chala jata hai. Now the SNMP or the box cannot tell you UPS जाने वाला है, right? But वो गया, then they don't know what happened. So it started going down, and then suddenly everything is unreachable. So they came to us and said, can you tell us before, या जब मरने वाले उसके पहले, can you tell us that you are going to go down? Now how would you solve that? We solve that by using a capacitor actually to do it. But those are the kind of, it could be any problem like that, but you have to think about real world problems and figure out how to solve it. We actually use it, we call it dying gas. We use it in all of the geo network boxes, right? So these are problems that we're facing. Some of them are, we're trying to see if you can come up with a smarter way of doing it, right? So those are the kind of problems we're giving you. So like the guys who are going to present are one of the highest paid people, in Cisco. Like Anshul and others are one of the top guys in Cisco India. They are top guys in Cisco, so they will explain to you what problem, right? Anything else on your mind, guys? Or bolo? Anything's game. Go ahead. Salesforce of Cisco. Cisco's Salesforce is amazing. It's actually stronger than engineering, right? To take my idea to the customer. Now I have friends who decided to do startups, and I invested in a few startups too, right? They have built a better product than what I have built. वो Reliance Jio के डोर पे जाएंगे तो लात मार के बाहर निकल जाते हैं, कौन हो तुम? Why should I talk to you? So as an engineer, I find this more exciting. That I can think of an idea, like I just said this one. I implement it. I have a freaking Salesforce, an army that can make it reality. I always, it's a small thing, but when I was building the GUI, we used to do everything from down to up. I was building the GUI. With a galat button दब गया, it was blue की जगह grey हो गया था कुछ. And then I'm not going to fix it, छोड़ दिया. 10 years later, I'm sitting in AT&T, open it, like same color, and somebody is saying, okay, why? I don't know, it's grey, but that's why. I change. It's very powerful what you can achieve in these large. It's very difficult to be successful. I can tell you, 80%, and sometimes you guys know, 80% of the execs in the last 3 years have decided to move out of Cisco for one reason or the other. So it is tough to stay there. As you go up, you have to justify your job every day. But the power is intoxicating. So right now a startup in that sense doesn't excite me because I can't be treated like an idiot again, right? I mean, I got scolded by Mukesh Ambani when things was working. That itself, it was actually bad. It was terrible. But that's an experience in itself. I wouldn't have gotten that as a startup. But I'm not saying startup. Look, I was in a startup. It was successful. It was great. Now that's my choice. Anything else on you? Was this? You're going to say yes, I hope. Was this useful? But I'm going to try to come more often. I'll pick up other topics and I'll ping you guys. Those who are LinkedIn can tell me what it is. I really want to do something back for you guys, and that's what I'm doing this. Go ahead.
Would it be better to make your own startup?
Yeah, it is. It is better to make your own startup. You can make a product right now that is better than what I make in Cisco. Try selling it.
When you started, very earlier company, the company also didn't have a great marketing team.
Which one? The startup?
Yeah.
No, see, that was the high time. So that was 99. In 99, if you said I was E Chappals, you would get 100 million funding. So that's why it crashed. So that time we had crazy funding. But this team that was there was later I realized, all Stanford, all top guys. I was the only idiot there. I was like really smart guys. So and that company was also sales focused. It was very sales focused. In fact, our CEO used to say, I might have the smartest engineers, but as far as I know, you haven't put legs on the boxes, so they don't sell themselves. So sales is very, without sales it doesn't work. Okay. What else?
AI takes a lot of time investment, and people here are more oriented towards getting a job as fast as they can get out of the college. So
Sorry, can you speak a little louder?
ML and AI takes a lot of time investment, and people here are more oriented for jobs as soon as they get out of the college. So what do you think would keep us motivated to study these things, AI and ML, rather than our courses and competitive?
Really, if you're interested in it, you will find it and you will be motivated. And if you realize that it doesn't motivate you, then that's not for you anyway. Right? So, once you're in that technology, if it starts getting boring, you will never do well in it. Pick something that excites you. But you'll talk to I've got a guy who's strong in data science in my team. If he speaks, which is thank you for being a nice audience. I can see people working out, and good luck. Put your heart in this, and I'll say do a 10 answer session. It's only answer Suri is not there, right? Tomorrow is only answer, right? There's another guy who's very smart. And if this interaction starts working, I'm going to do more. I mean, I really want you guys to understand the industry. I want to do whatever I can to give back to my college. So, thank you. It's nice to be back.
CodeFest or Reading. On behalf of the Department of the Faculties of our own
personally and sharing his experience. This is the experience, what he shared, and now you can see what he is doing right. That I also tell you in my class. Study anything, whatever you do, only the practical things that you learned in your overall studies, how to solve the problems, how to apply the knowledge, that works. That's all, keep on learning, try to have a good experience, and I also welcome Rahul Pandey for being here, other team members from Cisco, faculty members, Rajput, and my dear students. So I think it will be a very nice event, nice sequence of events. Basically, this event was started by my own in 2010, not 9 series. It is just events. We continue such kind of events every year for another event. But it is a very good experience to share with the students of our own institute as well as students coming from all other institutes of the faculty as well. What I recall that we have faced a very good number of participants from all over the world of the students, as well as apart from those activities which are planned by the CodeFest team, we are going through a particular set of, you can say, very vibrant changes that can change your overall life experiences. Because we are having such kind of speaker, another speaker, Professor Dr. Asur will be joining tomorrow, and I will only encourage my students to take the advantage of these things and try to be in touch and try to be practical.
we've built upon ourselves and developed to this extent. Now, as a remembrance and as a memento to the department, to all the faculties, I request the convener of the fest, Abhi Chawla, to present the memento to Professor Rajesh Srivastava, the head of the department. By the holy words of Professor S.K. Singh, under the guidance of Bharat